Hello, my name is Kat Spicer. I'm the CEO of ESTEEM, a charity that supports young people aged 14 to 26. I'm here today to talk to you as trainers to explain to your learners about digital business environment. Again, this is a video that's trying to make the subject as accessible as possible to our learners. We are using an avatar called Sophia, who you may be familiar with from our previous video, to use a social story for learners to be able to identify with Sophia and hopefully stimulate and motivate them to getting started with their own business ideas. So during this video we will be asking learners to print out an Annex A, to have that ready for them to work on as part of the training course. So the aim of this video is to motivate and inspire learners to start their businesses, and especially for those who might need help in overcoming any barriers that are preventing them from getting started. So let's get started. So today's video, Digital Business Environment, is about literally how we can encourage learners to use the digital business environment, the web, to get started. So I'll get my notes, and here we are. So it's linked to the question, how can I develop my business in today's digital world of cyberspace, meaning virtually online, via the World Wide Web and through the various social networks provided and the resources that are available. It's important to have a strategy for this when starting a business, because the digital world permeates every part of our lives. Our homes, our schools, our workplaces, even our public spaces like transport and libraries and cafes, in our cities and our government. It's also a question of remaining authentic to the needs of the customer and the service that the learners are providing. Being original while being faithful to your product and finding the most interesting platform in relation to you and what you enjoy. It takes time and should be well reflected. In the introduction, we'll be explaining why we use Sophia, and this introduction that explains that she's an avatar, which is a tool for learning. So it's so our learners can identify with her, liking the social story. It also makes the video a little bit more fun and interactive and friendly. The learner training video will be filming an actual doll in an actual set, which will be modelled on a real model scale. So it'll be quite different to this video with this kind of slide setup. So again, we are trying to keep this subject as appealing and accessible as possible, even for those who are not business minded, because business can be quite a dry subject. We do hope that Sophia will help this and help the digital business environment reach a wider range of people as possible in this way. So Sophia needs to reach much more potential customers for her business and provide information on how to reach her goal while generating interest at the same time. Being part of social networks nowadays is important and can offer a solution that is free, which is really important. So in this introduction, you can read to your learners as well. Sophia has her business idea and is ready to make a strategy for online marketing. She knows that this is an important part of her success for her business because it's a great way to reach potential customers affordably and easily. The facts are that digital methods of communication and marketing are faster, more versatile, practical and streamlined. Sophia will take you through some methods that she used when preparing to launch her business online and reach more potential customers. So really, teachers, you're going to be enforcing to your learners how useful this medium is to reaching customers. It's free, it's easy, it's accessible. The online marketplace, really drum it into them, is the direction that they should be heading in, because all businesses nowadays really need this online backup to get their business started and make it successful. So I will just explain also that, as you can explain to your learners, the learners may have different business concepts to Sophia's business ideas. So we will try and keep this as generic as possible, but do explain to your learners that this is, again, Sophia's an example, and that the idea is that she's motivating and hopefully encourage them to develop their own ideas, and they'll be able to relate to her to see how that might fit into their business. So we're going to use 6 steps to help your learners get ready to start their business on the online marketplace. So we've identified 6 steps to get your business ready, your learners' business ready, for the online marketplace. We'll be talking your learners through the 6 steps, as well as referring to the content of the slides throughout. These steps include tips on when setting up your website and how effective it will be, optimising the website so that people can find it via SEO use, which is search engine optimisation, how to continue to promote your product online and capture people's attention to target potential buyers. Also, we'll be looking at social networks, of course, selling online and use of retail sites for selling products, and don't forget traditional methods, even in the digital world, which we'll go on to and look at together. So step 1, Sophia says, remember you have fewer than 5 seconds to get someone's attention. Little tip from Sophia. Sophia knows that for any business it's vital to have a website because this is the online face of your business. In making her website, Sophia followed these simple rules. So when thinking about for your learners thinking about their website, look at these points, and as trainers we'll be explaining each point one by one. Sophia understands that having a website is important, and although it's great to have something flashy or that you love, she understands the importance of it being effective and in line with what her client is looking for. The website objective is to sell her product, so she must remember what is essential. Research shows that you need to capture potential customers' attention within 5 seconds. As Sophia says, remember you have fewer than 5 seconds to get someone's attention. So she needs to remember to have a clear message that in 5 seconds someone knows what she is selling. She needs a way of gaining email addresses for the future promotion, and that it will be quick and easy to use. It's a good idea when developing your website, your learners' websites, to take an objective view, so putting yourself outside and looking in as someone who has no idea or concept of what your business is. It's also an interesting point to get feedback from as many people as possible. Don't be afraid to ask your neighbours, your friends. You could even put a link on your website asking your customers for feedback. You can set up a link and send it round as an email. And if the feedback is valid, then use that feedback and make changes as necessary. That's really key. Sounds obvious, but explain to your learners, people's feedback is probably really valid and something you might miss yourself, even if you don't agree with it. It's really important to look into what they're saying. So, we're going to be looking at 6 points in step 1, and as trainers, I'm going to ask you to elaborate on each step as follows. So step 1, choose 1 or 2 plain fonts on a white background. So choosing plain colours and fonts keeps your website looking professional and crisp. Having simple designs makes it easier for customers to see clearly what the product is and what service is being offered without distractions from flashy content and crazy fonts and things like that. So make your navigation clear and simple, and the same on every page. We want something that's easy to use. This step is really important. We mustn't assume that customers have a good knowledge of using websites, so the layout of our websites have to be easy to navigate around. Keep the number of tabs to a minimum and ensure that your pages are concise and obvious in their function. Only use graphics, audio or video if they enhance your message. So, a picture tells 1,000 words, it's true, but you have to make sure that that picture is saying something of importance, not repeating what you've written. So choose the graphics and pictures and videos potentially carefully, and where possible it can be worth employing a professional to help you with these. Use only graphics. Include an opt-in offer so you can collect email addresses. So this is really crucial to emphasise to your learners. Some customers do really like to get involved in the products that they're using. It's a great opportunity for your learners to access a continual relationship with their customers. Customers can feel like they're part of a group, and it appeals to our human nature to belong. And so you can use this to your advantage as an entrepreneur by making customers feel special. Encourage your learners to think about what they can do to optimise customer networks, updating them with news, special offers and developments in their products. Make sure to highlight to learners the importance of data protection and the use of customer data, and reassure their customers of safety. So there's lots of ways that your learners can research this. It's quite a large field, so really ask your learners to look into this in their own time. There's lots of online resources that they can use for this. So make it easy to buy, no more than 2 clicks between potential customer and checkout. So have a buy button within 2 clicks from an item that you're selling. Many customers are put off if they have to spend time searching around how to buy the product. The idea is that you want to make that sale, so make it available to them as easily and quickly as possible. And finally, your website is your online storefront, so make it customer friendly. This is really important again to emphasise to your learners that they need to spend some time thinking about ways of achieving a welcoming site that's relevant to their market audience and the product, of course. You can remind learners to research in more detail of these steps on their own website about their own website in their own time, because when they're putting their website together, they're going to need specific information. Okay, so step 2, use search engine optimization to drive targeted buyers to your site. So, the term SEO is used everywhere. The trainer needs to explain clearly, first of all, what this actually is. SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization. So what is this? Search engine is an online digital platform that you can use to make search on a website for a product or a question that you might have. These search engines can include Google, Bing, Yahoo, amongst many, many others. The search engines use robotics, which is a computer program that can look at your website and rank it according to the number of searches that have been made. It considered what is relevant to the person that's asking the questions. So, for example, Sophia might be selling clothes, and the pages she creates on her website need to include words that directly relate to the product. So, for example, sizes, materials, anything that she can think of that's related to clothes. So, ask your learners to ask themselves, what would their customers be thinking when they're searching for that kind of product? What words would their customers be using? Use these words in the text of your website, and make sure that titles like the tags and titles of articles and products within your website and photos are clearly related to what you're offering and are short and precise wording. It's the same for headers, and a header is the top rectangular bar that goes across your screen on your website, that runs across the web page, and it's one of the first things that people will look at when they're going to your site. So making sure again that all the right words are right there, obviously, for your learners' customers to see. Meta information is also used and important to be aware of for learners. Meta elements typically used to specify page description, keywords, authors of the documents, when things were last modified, and other metadata. It's not really something that we need to go into in much detail, but it is worth just mentioning to your learners here about metadata, because they might come across it when they're making their website, and at least they've heard of it and it's something familiar and it's not going to put them off. So the URL is the information or the address of something that's found on the internet. E.g., for example, the name of your website, clothes.com or whatever it is. Make sure that it's relevant to what you're selling for your learners. The search engines will constantly be looking for this sort of thing. So we're going to go on to the points that we've got on our step 2. SEO and pay-per-click advertising is the easiest way to get traffic to a brand new site. It has more advantage over waiting for the traffic to come to you organically. Ensure that you have coded keyword-rich copy, title tags, header text, unique URL and meta information that describes your product. So that's why we're going into this information, so that when we've got it on the short bullet points here, you've already explained to your learners what they're talking about. Make sure you have product-specific information, including photos, descriptions, video, research, data, etc. So we're just having a recap here for your learners to keep it fresh in their minds. Also about pay-per-click, it includes AdWords, which is paying someone to find words that are related to your product. So it's a model of internet marketing where advertisers pay a fee for one time, each time someone clicks to their product. Essentially, it's a way of buying visits to your site. So this is something that is really important to make your learners aware of, because it's something that many businesses are using these days. And again, it's very accessible. In regards to titles and introductions on their websites, these should be between 4 and 10 words to capture the attention and make it easy to read. It should identify keywords to be unique to your website, and photos should include a caption for search engines, making it short and precise. If you're writing articles, explain to your learners, this also helps reference to the website, but try to limit to no more than 1,500 words. Remember that people read 25% slower when they're reading online. So it's just more tips that we're talking our learners through. I didn't put too much of the information on the slides because I think visually it's a little bit overwhelming, so we're just using ourselves as the trainers to go through these steps in a more human way. So step 3, email and newsletters. So use your networks and contents to build a mailing list. This is one of the most valuable assets of your online business. Your customers and subscribers have given you permission to send them an email, which is so important. That means you're giving them something that they've asked for, so psychologically they're already receptive to it. You're developing lifetime relations with them, so it's an ongoing opportunity where you can come back to them again and again. The response is 100% measurable, so every time that you get a response from your client, your learners are able to gather this content and use it in their business plan, in their marketing proposals, and generally measuring the success of their business, which is vital for when they're trying to get more interest, potentially financial funders, investors, that sort of thing. Email marketing is cheaper and more effective than print. It doesn't cost, it's free. TV or radio, because it's so highly targeted. So ideally it's great to get on television and radio, but it does normally cost unless you can find a way of making it into a story that your perhaps local presenters might want to come and interview your learners about. Anyone who visits your site and opts into your list is a very hot lead. And there's no better tool than email for following up with these leads. So email and newsletters have various advantages, such as being rapid, interactive, targeted, traceable, and they cost nothing. There are many different websites that help with email templates and newsletters, so that once you've set up your email it's easy to reuse again and again. So time-wise and energy-wise, the output is minimum and the input can be huge. These websites include those such as MailChimp.com, MailKitchen, and we've also included some links later at the end for your learners to look at. They're free and you have an option to upgrade to more services by paying, which is often the case in online platforms. It's free to start with and you can add more by paying a bit extra. Remember to tell your learners that when they're writing email and newsletters, it should solve the subscriber's needs. So first of all, identifying the need and then telling them how they're going to solve it. Keep it simple, but not over-promotional. Keep it friendly and give the reader some information that will interest them. Most general emails are not effective unless you send something that captures their attention, such as an offer or something that's regarding a new product that they want and need. Many people read newsletters on their mobile, so make sure that it's mobile friendly. So, the disadvantages of newsletters, which we need to look at with learners, is that they have to create a list of contacts. They might not already have a network. This can be done by adding an opt-in to your website, as we've said already, to collect email addresses and interested parties, or a pop-up offering some free incentive if they leave their email contact. You must make sure, tell your learners, that it respects people's private lives and confirms to certain rules for emailing that include an opting out option, which is really important as part of consumer protection. No false advertising can be used, and the identity of the person who is sending the message must be available, i.e. your learners. So for more information, we've included some links at the end of the presentation on where your learners can find out about this. It might be different from country to country. Some of the email programs have an area to add lists of consumers, and if not, make sure that your learners are keeping emails in a document together, such as an Excel document. Information on emails is as follows. So 64% are received on mobile phones. That was in 2014. 89% of emails are not well optimised for reading. So that means that they're not very user-friendly. Remember that consistency is important, so send the newsletter the same day and the same time every week or every month, however often your learners decide to send, because customers will start to become familiar with this and start looking out for it. And you can check the days that are best by doing a little bit of research and looking at the figures of how many were opened on those times. Think about when your customers are most likely to be online. Explain to your learners things not to forget, making sure that people take off the list people that request that they don't want to have emails anymore. So really important when someone wants to unsubscribe that your learners unsubscribe them, because that will give them a negative rather than a positive if people are still receiving emails. Don't forget to send a test email of your letter beforehand to make sure that it does go out, so send it to yourself as a learner. Don't just promote your products, give some other information. So find something that's of interest at the moment, like current affairs or other things that might be related to your product but not directly. Don't saturate your client's inbox, so there's no point in emailing your clients every day or perhaps even every week, because it's too much. People get so many emails these days, they're just going to delete them without reading them, and that's a complete waste of your time and a waste of inbox space. And don't forget about compatibility with mobiles again. Okay, so moving on to step 4, social networks. So Sophia used real-life opportunities around her as well as online platforms to build her business. So the people in her community, they can really help start a business. It can make or break. Every person has another network. So by tapping into those around you, you already can develop quite a substantial potential marketing base. So talk to friends and family, local businesses for contacts and promotional links. It's so often that you mention, oh, I'm starting a business in clothing, and someone says, oh, I have a brother in somewhere that's got a clothing company, they might be able to offer some advice. So talking about things with your local community is so vital. Use videos, podcasts, live chats, online forums. These are all really good marketing tools. You can catch the eyes of your market audience, as well as potentially people in journalism and media who might send a link to your video or podcast. Find out about and attend networking meetings and business breakfasts. So all over the world these are happening. It might be that your learners have to travel some distance to get to a networking meeting, but it's so crucial. There's lots of like-minded people, some more successful than others, and by coming together and discussing and learning from each other, it's a really valuable resource. And if there aren't any in the area, perhaps your learners could even start their own business breakfast and encourage other learners to come to them. So there's a whole wealth of opportunity there. Use available resources to promote your business in your area. So community centres, local businesses, anything that your learners can think of that they might be able to put up posters or use that company's network of clients. You know, really ask your learners to think outside the box here and spend time on these points, because it could be make or break. So a social network is a structure that allows social interaction by various parties. There are many different social networks out there at the moment, and it's good and a good idea to see which one is best, or many which might be best. For example, Facebook is a very common online social media structure. It's very common and has a lot of older users from 30 to 65. There are also social networks like Snapchat for younger people, Scoop It for people who produce articles. So really it's about looking at choosing a social media platform that is best suited to your age range, and you can you can research online, tell your learners, to find out which age group your social media platform is aimed at or used most by. Ask your learners to ask themselves which one they prefer, because by using it they'll be more likely to be motivated and promote this via their own social media platforms that they're used to using every day. It's more familiar for your learners. Instagram and things which use photos and images, again linking the words to hashtags and things like that. Nowadays we can link our accounts to other social networks and therefore post one network. You can post on one network and it's linked to loads of other networks, so that just saves your learners loads of time for a little extra effort and energy. So Sophia realised she was using too much time in the day on networking with little return, so she decided to take a look at the one that she found the most used by clients, and she concentrated on that one. She also realised she was having more fun while she was doing it. Step 5, online retail sites. Sophia made sure that she marketed her business on as many online selling platforms as possible. You've got Amazon, eBooks, eBay, Etsy, Google, product searches and local selling platforms. So e-commerce is the fastest growing retail market in Europe and North America. Online sales in the UK, Germany, France, the Netherlands, Sweden, Italy, Poland and Spain grew from 156.28 billion in 2014 to 185.39 billion in 2015. So that's an 18.6% increase in 1 year, with considerable numbers. Online sales are expected to grow again to reach another 16-70% increase, up to 250,000.28 billion euros worth in 2017. If we look at these figures, it is very important for people such as Sophia and your learners who are selling a product to make sure that she sells online, either through her own website or sites that can now make it done more easily with programs such as WooCommerce and other retail sites. So make sure that the retail site that your learners choose will sell your product in line with what your product is. Sophia, for example, is selling clothes, so websites like eBay or Amazon offer a platform for selling that offers products. Check out any other websites that are specific to clothing. It could be Etsy, like any of these. There's Google sales. You may have to pay a commission as learners, but don't forget that costs are involved, such as delivery as well. So really, it's looking at all of the details when choosing what site to use, because some may charge more than others, and it's about how much financial output your learners can afford. Don't forget to check out other local retailers or websites in your local community that may offer similar service to you. Perhaps they can join forces. If you can work together and sell, you'll reduce costs. Partnerships are a great way of promoting yourself and others as well. So it's a really nice community, a sense of community can be if you can even start something like a cooperative within their learners' community. So step 6, traditional methods. This is really important. I think even though the digital business world is important to the success of a company, don't forget that reaching your local community is valuable too. So we've touched on this a little bit already, but really emphasise here to your learners about finding new angles to generate press interest, to get free advertising from local TV, newspapers, radio. Think about how your learners' products, ask your learners to think about why their product is different and why it will benefit people. And the newspapers, journalists can be quite lazy, so if you actually write an article for them, it's quite likely that they will print it. It's free content for them, they don't have to work so hard. So other methods include billboards, trade shows, speaking opportunities. So just encourage your learners to really think of anything they can do to get their product out there to the community. Use promotional events and actual direct mail if they think it's the right way, actually physically posting things through people's doors. So it can be the most accessible method as well for our learners. If some people really aren't, online business savvy, they don't have much online knowledge, then these methods really can be a good opportunity for them to use things that they're more familiar with. So, if we move on to, after the 6 steps, the social media marketing plan. So, how to maximise the online tools that we use every day. I've got some examples here. Going back to the social story, so first Sophia needed social media strategy. So we're asking learners here to print out Annex A, which we'll come to in a minute, and we'll work through together so that you can explain to your learners how to use it. It's a 1-page template, and she asked herself some of these questions. So what segment of the community is she trying to engage in? What's in it for the people who are buying her product? What's in it for Sophia? How can she measure her success, and how can I promote the campaign? So really, your learners will have some of the answers to these questions from what we've been talking about today, but it's really good just to recap and get these answers down on paper. So rather than reinventing the wheel, we found that the best method is the Forrester research. It offers a very simple plan for what this training video is about, and it uses the following POST method, P-O-S-T. So Annex A, the 1-page social media business plan, marketing plan, we're asking your learners to come up with a basic plan. So using the POST method, P-O-S-T, people, objectives, strategies and tactics, we're asking your learners to answer these questions. I'm just going to talk through what the titles are as trainers, so you can explain this to your learners in more detail. So people, where does your community hang out online? What kind of things are they talking about? The objectives, so specifically, what are they trying to achieve with digital marketing? The strategy, so how will you answer WIFM, WIFM, what is in it for me? And what value will you offer in exchange for the email, money, time or influence? What value is your customer going to get when they purchase their product? The tactics, so which tools and tactics will be used, and it breaks it down into a more simplified version which you can explain to your learners as follows. So when we look at people, you can't achieve even a basic level of success on social media if you don't understand your people. No one will retweet or repin your blog post if you haven't answered the only question which matters: what is in it for them? So when they're answering this question, really reinforce this point. What is in it for your learners' customers? So looking at the objectives, what's in it for us? More fans, more emails, more donors. How we measure success. So when answering these questions, remind your learners to use SMART objectives, okay? We've talked about SMART in a previous training video: specific, measured, achievable, realistic and time specific. So strategies, how we promote the campaign, what other channels will we use? So your learner strategies is more than just a plan. It's a plan that will meet their objectives based on what they know about your people and why the people will support them, why their customers will buy their products. Don't assume that the customers will buy products simply because they're good products, because they can be busy, they can have struggles and challenges in their own lives. So you have to engage them in a way and get their attention and tell them why it's useful, why they really need your product. And tactics, so what online tools and tactics will we be using? So this is the plan, helping them answer their question. Using this training video will again help them think about the answers to these questions. So T for technology and tactics, use it. Once you understand your customers and your objectives and your strategy, your learners can confidently see which online platforms are most suitable for them, which tools they'll be using for selling and which tactics for their marketing campaign. So next we'll be taking a look at some online digital media platforms that are free to use at a basic level, or they can be invested in to increase traffic to a product or services, as we've said already. So there's free platforms and you can upgrade. So we'll be asking our learners to ask themselves these questions. What are they hoping to achieve through social media marketing? Who is their target audience, which they will now know? Where will you get your target audience to hang out, and how would they use social media? And what message do they want to send to their audience with social media marketing? So this is all coming from their business plan, which they will have taken time to do during the training session. So social media marketing can help with a number of goals, such as increasing website traffic, so directing customers to their website so that they can click that button and buy that product. Building conversations, so increasing customer relations, having email contact, having Facebook contact, and just making customers feel special, like we've talked about earlier in the video, so valuable. Raising awareness of the brand, so promoting what you're offering and getting the logo, the brand out there in as many ways as possible. Creating brand identity and positive brand associations. So this is really important. You know, you can instantly recognise these brands up here because they have been bombarded, the world has been bombarded with these logos. We all know what they are, and we all use most of them, are familiar with most of them, and it's about the brand identity, who associates with what. improving communication and interaction with key audiences. So again, just choosing the audience carefully and encouraging your learners to put their effort into that target audience. There's no point in trying to capture the interest from an enormous wide range when really their product is only suitable for a smaller range of people. So we're going to look at the platforms now, as we said. Facebook is a casual, friendly environment that requires an active social media marketing strategy, like your learners will now have completed, that begins with creating a Facebook business fan page. So making sure that your learners are using Facebook in the right way, choosing a page rather than a personality for their business product. And you'll want to pay careful attention to the layout, as visual component is a key aspect of the Facebook experience. Social media marketing for business pages revolves around furthering your conversation with audiences by posting industry-related articles, images, videos, etc. So again, using these things, when you can get a story behind your product, your learners' products, encouraging your learners to constantly take photos and give their customers updates on how the business is progressing, how the product is improving, anything like that they can do is all interest to their customers, potentially. It says here, Facebook is a place people go to relax and chat with friends, so keep your tone light and friendly. Google Plus is the new Facebook competitor, and it promotes the same fun, casual atmosphere. On Google Plus, you can upload, load and share photos, video links, and view all your Plus ones. Also take advantage of Google Plus circles, which allow you to segment your followers into smaller groups, enabling them to share information with some followers while barring others. So it's about selecting who you want. You can make it a kind of elitist group if they want. For an example, you could try creating a super fan circle where special discounts and exclusive offers are only available for this group. Fans' feedback and input, truly putting the social back into the social media. You can also try hosting video conferences with Hangouts and experimenting using the Hangout feature. So your learners could, for example, do their own webinars. If they're selling a service, it might not just be a product, or it could be a product that they're doing a training webinar on how to use it or how to improve it. So Google Plus is a great way to do that. Some social media marketing ideas. If you're a salon, host a how-to session on how to braid your hair. If you own a local bookstore, try offering author video chats. If you're feeling adventurous, invite your Plus ones to your Google Plus community. Google Plus communities will allow you to listen to... Okay, I need to edit that one. Sorry about that. So Pinterest is the latest in social media marketing trends. Pinterest's image-centered platform is ideal for retail, but anyone can benefit from using Pinterest for social media purposes. Pinterest allows small businesses to showcase their own product offerings while also developing their own brand's personality and unique pinboard. So again, it's a great way that people can use visuals and tags, and yeah, lots of online sharing goes on Pinterest. Another useful tool. So Twitter, very crucial in promoting. It's used a lot in politics, in government, as well as in media, celebrities, schools even. So really this is a great resource for your learners to tap into. Twitter is the social marketing media tool that lets you broadcast your updates across the web. So follow tweeters in your industry or related fields, and you should gain a steady stream of followers in return. So it's a bit of give and take. The more people you click on, usually people will just click straight back, and then people that they have their networks with will then have access to yours. So really tap into this. Mix up your official related tweets about special discounts and news updates with some fun and quirky tweets interspersed. Be sure to retweet when a customer has something nice to say about you, and don't forget to answer people's questions when possible. So that's really important. It's an opportunity to make relationships with their customers. So it's something you do need to spend quite a lot of time on, but it can be worth it. Using Twitter as a social media marketing tool revolves around dialogue and communication, so be sure to interact as much as possible, like we just said. LinkedIn is one of the more professional social media marketing sites. LinkedIn Groups is a great venue for entering into a professional dialogue with people in similar industries and provides a place to share content with like-minded individuals. So again, encourage your learners to use as many platforms as they can. LinkedIn is very popular at the moment, especially with more business-minded products and services. It's considered very professional and considered essential in certain circles, so I really ask them to look into this. Customers, encourage customers or clients to give their business a recommendation on LinkedIn profiles, because recommendations makes your business appear more credible, and credit is very important. It's reassuring other people that this is a good and safe product and reliable for new customers. Also, browse the questions section of LinkedIn, providing answers to help get established and earn trust. So there's many people starting up their businesses, many new entrepreneurs into the field. Some of them might have similar products and services that they're offering, but might not be in competition with your learners because they might be in different parts of the world and they might be facing similar problems. So it's a great opportunity to share information and knowledge again. It's like an online community. YouTube, very popular. YouTube is the #1 place for creating video content, which can be an incredibly powerful social media marketing tool. Many businesses try to create video content with the aim of having their video go viral. So go viral, just to explain to your learners what that means, when somebody clicks on the video and then shares it with their network and all of those people share it with their network, it grows and grows and grows and becomes like a virus. It just spreads like wildfire, which is amazing, especially if it's your video and your product. So that's what you're aiming for if you use YouTube. But in reality, the chances are pretty slim because there's a lot of videos out there. Instead, focus on creating a useful, instructive how-to video. These how-to videos also have the added benefit of ranking on the video search results of Google, so don't underestimate the power of video content. Foursquare, location-based media tools. So social media platforms like Yelp, Foursquare and Level Up are great for brick and mortar businesses looking to implement marketing social media. Register on these sites to claim your location spot and then consider extra incentives such as check-in rewards, special discounts. Remember, these visitors will have their phones in hand, so they have access to providing reviews which could hurt or significantly aid the users, the customers and the sellers. So there's many different sites like this, and your learners, again, encourage them to do their own research to find out which one is right for them. But yeah, the reward and discount appeal really can generate a lot of interest in the business. So ask your learners to think about what they can afford to offer their customers, especially when they're getting going, to use the online platform to make offers and get 2-for-1 deals and things like that. Research is key. So Sophia wanted to find out about her customers so she could make the best decision about what methods were worth her time and investment. There's a customer service template you can use, and you can choose to make your own questions also. SurveyMonkey is one of the main online questionnaire platforms that is free to use. Again, depending on how much, to what level you want to use it, you can pay to upgrade the service. But at basic level, especially for a trial marketing research project, SurveyMonkey offers a perfectly suitable platform to use. So really encourage your users to do their own research. Again, just reiterate that this training video is an introduction to the digital business environment. Digital business is huge. The online platforms that are available are vast, and it's very difficult to sum up in 1 hour all of the things that are available. So this really is just giving the foundations, really, that your learners can now take these ideas forward and develop these ideas for themselves, do their own research that's more specifically orientated around their product or service. And at the end of the presentation, which we're coming up towards, we do give some links similar to this that learners can look at, but really again it's doing their research on Google, on whatever search engine that they choose, but they can type in whatever question that they feel relevant, type in their product, and just see what comes up. So yeah, there's some more website links, as I said. This is a UK-based one, but there's no reason why other people can't use it in other countries. How to set up a business. The word stream is a marketing strategy information page. There's different payment systems that you can use to put on your websites, how people can click to pay. Talking about registering trademarks. Really there's a whole legal side that your learners should be aware of and may need to seek advice once they start their business. Young entrepreneurs, it's exciting, they're at a really exciting time, but they do need to seek advice from people with more experience, who are professionals, and sometimes this can cost, but there are ways where they can get that information for free if they research themselves. So really they are the only people as learners who know what they need to succeed. So Sophia will wish them well, and so do we. Thank you for your attention.